So, there's a trend that I view myself a fan of. My fascination begun with the Blair Witch Project when I was younger. I was one of those who believed it really was found footage that was disclosed to the public. Of course, some would say it was gullible of me, and I was young and impressionable. It caught my attention, like I was watching something I wasn't supposed to. It was a time before the internet being widely accessible, and a time before the sensationalism of social media. Now, it's not too difficult to Google for a few minutes and come across some authentic snuff films. Not that you were absolutely unable to at the time, it was just a little more difficult. The movie released on July 16th, 1999, and that day had just turned 7. Probably helps to add why I feel like I was watching something I wasn't supposed to, because I wasn't. If you're watching this, Mom, I'm sorry. And it stands to say that the movie was so believable at the time for found footage that this family actually received sympathy cards in the mail. But with society today, do you think that it would still hold ground? Or did society change handycam horror? I don't think so personally. It's just harder to get that traction again among the multitudes of spoopy objects moving across the room or blurry UFO footage. I think there's a little bit we can dissect here about social media. Do you remember the part in this video where I said that when Blair Witch came out, I just turned 7? I was displaying one aspect to see in social media, oversharing. Now, it wasn't super deep or personal info like private or intimate details of my life, but you see things like this all the time on Facebook, like where were you when X happened, or take your birth year, your current state, and your hair color and compare them with this table we built and you'll get your future pen name. Okay, maybe the last one wasn't super realistic, but it's an idea of people sharing information that isn't really necessary. Now, the next thing you see in social media is what I like to equate to as a legal term called the burden of proof. Every year, how many vacation pictures or cell phone concert videos or pictures during events have you seen? Not that it shouldn't be shared, those things are all exciting. But why are they posted? I think slightly it's adding to proof that everyone has in their subconscious that their life is interesting. Because it's constantly a struggle of relevancy. But there's a plethora of media being shared. Like, why do people have firework videos on their phone's camera roll? I have never seen a single person come to me like, hey, check out this shaky video of a fireworks display I seen this 4th of July. Okay, I should probably stop sounding like any boss on a Monday morning complaining about everyone on their Facebooks and cell phones and surrounded all by themselves, and it's just terrible. But I don't believe that these claimed true found footage films can be theatrically released. Honestly, I feel like it's better to remain on the internet to help the underground feel of everything. But I do have to commend the directors Eduardo Sanchez and Danielle Myrick for using the internet for the first time as a marketing tool. It can still be done, but it's a lot harder today. Like, do you remember the girls who killed their friend as a sacrifice to Slender Man? That was absolutely a real happening. So, I won't mention their names because I feel like these, at the time, 12-year-old girls shouldn't be forever defined by their actions. I believe in change. But it gained some serious traction at the time and then quickly slipped into the mass of information and media. Now, it's not that social media killed found footage horror due to overexposure, but some people can absolutely do it right and still not be overpopular. there are internet darlings out there. Like, one of my favorite isn't necessarily found footage, but Local 58, if you haven't heard, it is absolutely worth watching. The whole series takes around 20 minutes to watch, and it plays out as local news broadcasts during something taking over. The episode Contingency really stood out to me when it basically looks like a public broadcast governmental statement telling you to honor liberty and take the final liberty of all and commit mass suicide. Even saying for parents to kill their young before taking themselves and drag everyone out to the front lawn before it's your turn. Another internet favorite of mine is a YouTube channel known as Hi, Mary Mary, which is about a young girl trapped in her house recording off of a camera that she found, and doing so to keep herself busy, as she has been trapped in this house for some time now, and she's recording everything she can to keep herself sane as her emotions seem to take on the physical realm. Emotions like vanity, depression, regret, anxiety, and more. But what makes Hi, Mary Mary special is not only is it a YouTube series, but Hi, Mary Mary also has a Twitter and a blog spot, so instead of simply being horror videos on YouTube, it's a multifaceted horror experience. And I love that idea. It takes the immersion one step deeper, where you can feel like you really are a part of her universe. And frankly, her universe is kind of terrifying. One of my all-time favorite movies of this subgenre, though, has to be Cloverfield. I feel like it's a great depiction of what would happen if something were to attack, like an alien. It does take place in a time of social media, but it's rendered completely useless. Obviously it's rendered useless, Cody. Are you really going to check your newsfeed while there's an alien destroying your city? This movie has an excellent cast who portrays perfectly the panic behind this situation. The movie is also riddled with Easter eggs all throughout the film. Basically what I'm saying is found footage can and still is done to this day, and I know I don't have any ground to stand for the masses as I say that I love this subgenre of horror, and with the quality of camera that's in our phones at all times on us, there's always an answer to why do you have a camera with you right now. At any time, a story can be told, and that is what is important to me, is it shows you don't have to be a special person or just moved into a haunted house. No, this can happen to you at any time, and you can have proof of it. You could be the next found footage craze. Yes, it can be something crazy like an alien taking over a city, or it could be as real as a stalker chasing you throughout your town. And I'm sure that I'm not the master of all found footage movies, because I know that there are some I haven't seen. I know I haven't seen As Above, So Below, and I was just told, well, actually not just told, but I was told a while ago that there is a found footage vampire movie. Like, how rad does that sound? I'm gonna have to check that out. But also, with the YouTube channels that I've talked about in this video, if you are interested at all, there will be links in the description below so you can experience these masterpieces as well. And until next time, guys, stay rad.